when Michael Jordan scored a dunk from the free throw line at a dunk contest in 1988. Even then, everyone realized that it was not just a person. One day, when Kobe Bryant was training with Philadelphia, he asked the players what it was like to defend against Michael. They then said, "Do you mean the Black Jesus?" You see, there's a notion that Jordan is a basketball god in human flesh, and today I will try to prove it to you. Why was Michael Jordan such a dominant player on the court, and why did he not lose the title of the greatest basketball player of all time after the end of his career? And in general, can such achievements be achieved by an ordinary person? Let me now prove that Michael Jordan was not like anyone else on this planet. We are all well aware of the fact that it is impossible to achieve greatness and success without hard work. Jordan is a vivid example of this hard work. But did you know that in addition to phenomenal physical fitness and various tactics, Michael also used psychological techniques in order to lead his team to victory in any way? Ask me what I mean. I want to say that Michael has developed a unique skill to manipulate judges. Before each new match, MJ took care to find out the name of each of them. And then the magic began. He just approached the referee and started a dialogue. Andy and Ruse called it the Jordan effect. At one of his speeches, he touched on this topic. Michael just came up and asked the judges how they were doing. "Hey Steve, how's your son Bobby doing? He's in 8th grade this year, right? I heard he got on the school team. Tell him I was expelled from the school team at his age. At this stage of his career, your son is better than me." Now this referee will be able to go joyfully home and tell his son, "Son, you know that I talked to Michael Jordan today and he gave you something. Well, now think about which side will have the advantage in the game." Michael achieved privileges on the court thanks to a brilliant approach to the judges. On the site, Majid not only violated the laws of physics, but also showed high intelligence and resourcefulness. Would an ordinary person have thought of such a thing? If someone asked you to name a player who will never back down from any challenge to his side, then you can safely call Jordan's name. It's interesting. But there are very young players who threw big words at Michael when he was already retired for a long time. So in 2013, when Jordan was about to celebrate his 50th birthday, a 19-year-old youngster, Michael Keith, approached him and said, "Hey Jordan, how about we play one-on-one?" His answer was approving, and he immediately agreed. No one has ever seen this video or evidence of what happened at the game, but there's only an interview with the kid Gilchrist, who told me that one day he really played one-on-one with Jordan. It was really hard, and what do you think I lost to him? I lost to a 50-year-old guy, but he's the best player on the planet. Just think about it. Edge was already retired for several years and enjoyed it, and then the second pick of the draft challenges him to a duel. Michael comes out and wins. I repeat, he was 50 years old. How can an ordinary person do this? During his long career, Michael Jordan managed to play with such basketball legends as Dominique Wilkins, Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas, Larry Bird. But among these great names was one guy with whom Michael shared a special 2 days. This guy's name is Lab Radford Smith. You may not know this player. He was selected in the draft at number 19 in 1991. And after spending only 4 seasons in the league, he averaged 6.7 points per game. But in the match of the 93rd year, he made just great statistics. He threw with 75% accuracy, scoring 37 points. In that match, the Chicago Bulls still defeated Washington, but there were rumors that after gaining such impressive statistics, Smith gloated over Michael, telling him mockingly, "Good game, Michael." Apparently, that's all Jordan needed to take it personally. These 3 words made him hold a grudge in his heart to pay back later. I needed him to do it, and as soon as he gave me such a disrespectful remark at the end of the match, it became personal for me, and karma brought them together the very next day. That night, Meiji grilled him like a Christmas goose. When Jordan scored 36 points in that game in the first half alone, then everything was said and done. In the end, Michael led the Bulls to another victory with a crushing score. Meanwhile, Smith, who had previously exalted himself, scored only a modest 15 points. But the most interesting thing in this series is that in one of his subsequent interviews, Jordan confessed that Smith didn't tell him at all, and that Michael himself had invented it all in order to develop the motivation to fight with Smith. As you have already understood, Jordan has a habit of harboring resentment against various players who somehow dared to cross his path. He writes down exactly these offenders and then crosses them out one by one. Here's another vivid example. When I was playing baseball, Utah was in town to meet the Bulls. They were training nearby, and I stopped by and said hello to John and Carl. And then I heard the words spoken in my direction by Brian Russell. "Hey dude, why did you quit basketball? You just knew you couldn't stand up to me, and you absolutely had to go for it." Then, Michael silently wrote him down in the names of those with whom he would get even. Their meeting did not have to wait long. After all, shortly after Jordan's return, they ran into each other on the floor face to face. And just look at what Jay is doing there. He scored the winning shot in the NBA Finals against a guy who just recently claimed he could easily stop Michael. And here's another interesting story about Jordan, proving that he is not a man at all. One day in 2016, his good friend argued argued with Michael that he would never be able to win at his upcoming baseball game. He was probably hoping for Jordan's fatigue. After all, they play golf all day, and an important match is already in the evening of the same day. And what do you think? Michael scores 52 points and easily leads his team to victory. It's just unbelievable where his strength and energy come from. Chris Paul has always been a well-known popularizer of the Jordan brand. He once invited Michael in 2016 to take part in his summer basketball camp. While all the kids were having fun and admiring the legend, Chris suddenly challenged Jordan. He said that if he misses all 3 throws from different distances into the basket, then he will owe all the guys a pair of brand new sneakers. Quite a tricky and very profitable offer. After all, Michael was already 53. He was far from the same Michael as in the 90s. That's what everyone in that building thought. But what did he do? Yeah, guys, he didn't miss it all. And he just scored 3 shots in a row. And this, please note, was not somewhere from under the ring or on the penalty line. The children were left without shoes because Michael simply does not know how to lose. In any case, we are moving on. We all know that Michael's first love wasn't basketball. Since childhood, he dreamed of becoming a professional baseball player. He later became one. Did you know that Jordan didn't just play baseball professionally? He also had a great opportunity to get into Major League Baseball. It was like this. One popular coach of the strongest Major League Baseball team offered Mike a place on his team. Through his agent, the offer was more friendly than professional. This confused Jordan, and he eventually just refused. He didn't want to be given something for free. His goal has always been to get everything on his own, and it was beneath his dignity to come to everything ready. I'm just sure that 99 of people in Midge's place, without thinking about their principles and ideas, would immediately accept this tempting offer. But as I've said many times before in this issue, Michael Jordan is not a person. This is the end of our issue. I hope you liked it. You will definitely put your like and subscribe to the channel. Good luck.